Welcome to Think About. This is my YouTube channel where I am going to talk about whatever interests me, whether it is serious or whether it is just offbeat, it doesn't matter. A little later in this talk, I am going to discuss opinions, but first, I want to share with you some other topics that you will see in upcoming videos. I am going to talk to you about books that I am reading or book summaries that I am reading that I find interesting, and I think you will also. Certainly, I am going to be talking about current events and, of course, my main interest, education. But I may also talk about music or an interesting Netflix series. Basically, anything I find interesting and I want you to think about. Many years ago, a philosophy of religion professor said something that I found very interesting. It resonated with me. He said, everyone has a right to their opinion. However, that does not mean you need to always express it. And I found that very, very interesting, and I think it is very true right now. We live in a divided country. We have concerns about our Constitution. Are the politicians following the Constitution? Freedom of press is always a concern. As a democracy, we must have freedom of the press. Democracy. Well, what is America without democracy? We are the shining star, the example of what democracy should be. And that is something that really, really needs to continue. And of course, good leaders, bad leaders. What makes a good leader? What makes a bad leader? These are topics that we are talking about. We have problems in our country. We have a serious problem with homelessness. Unemployment is another concern of ours. Food insecurity, again, another issue that we need to be concerned about. And of course, social change, values. We're at a point in our time where many things are changing, whether they be religious, whether they be social, whether they be family values. Again, a major concern and a valid concern. So, let's talk about opinions. And I like to say opinions should be the start of a conversation. You go from an opinion to a conversation. It's easy to hear opinions like all Democrats are corrupt, all Republicans are corrupt. Heck, all politicians are corrupt. Well, these opinions really provide no value. It certainly makes the person who expresses it feel good, feel important, but they are meaningless. So, make your opinion the start of a conversation. So, how do we do this? Let's look at this. Let's go back to food insecurity. Again, it's a serious issue. So, if I say, for example, we have a topic we're going to discuss what is food security, insecurity. Well, the first thing we may want to discuss is instead of just saying, hey, this whole food insecurity thing, this makes no sense to me. People should work and we would not have this problem. Well, people do work and they do have food insecurity. So instead of just saying an opinion, to me it makes more sense if we're sitting down and someone says, hey, what is this food insecurity thing? Oh, I heard on the news about food insecurity. I might think and say, what are its causes? Is it food deserts? Yes. Many areas do not have a supermarket in its neighborhood. Some people, depending on where they live, have to drive 10, 15, maybe 20 miles to get to a supermarket. There are many, certainly convenience stores, maybe in the area. They sell a lot of processed food. People don't eat fresh, good food. Well, that brings up medical cost. Cost of living. Yes, you can have a job. You can have a few part-time jobs. Or maybe you only have one part-time job. Not because you don't want to work, but that is all that's available to you at the moment. So, cost of living. Rent is high. Food prices are high. If you don't have a car, depending on where you work, you may have to rely on public transportation or some other way of getting to work. So that is a concern. Or you simply may ask, is this a problem in my community? So, again, instead of just giving the opinion, ask some questions, have a conversation. Now, certainly, this conversation is not going to resolve the problem. No way at all. It's not going to do that at all. However, you get an opportunity to learn about the issue, become more informed about the issue, and maybe if it really resonates with you, you may have a chance to begin to try to solve the issue. So, in the end, make your opinion valuable. Make it the start of a conversation.